Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen of the Geek Notosphere. It is me, Pikey ZA, bringing you a super special secret midweek kind of weird podcast out of nowhere. We don't have video, so you are unfortunately being denied the right to see our beautiful faces, but that is something that I will hopefully do a little bit of magic in post-production and give you something to look at throughout the podcast. So this week we are joined by Michael James, the head honcho of the rAge Expo. So Michael, thank you very much for joining us.
A pleasure.
Okay, if head honcho is in fact the correct term, I know that you are senior project manager and, as far as I'm aware, pretty much the driving force.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, listen, I've been called a lot of things online in the past, so anything's good these days.
If it's like head honcho, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, thank you so much for agreeing to join us tonight. I know that it's kind of a weird day and Thursday evening in the middle of the week and just kind of, yeah, a bit messy, but just really happy that you could join us in time for us to have a chat about rAge and the exciting stuff we've got coming up.
That's no stress, man. I think I'm about 7 hours ahead of you guys in Joburg, yeah, right?
Possibly, yeah. In fact, I'm not. Is it that close?
I don't know how it works.
It must be. No, I'm not 100% sure. I've heard of this Joburg place. I've seen images online, and it looks scary, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I've posted a picture. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm here as well. Hello.
Yes, I know. I was about to get to you.
No,
Mr.
you
Morris
forgot about me. Come on.
No, I did. Mr. Morris has joined us. He is back, and his webcam is not entirely fixed, but
It exploded.
a little bit, but he is back, so everything is fine from that. So, Mr. Morris, welcome back. Nice to have you again.
Thank you
It's been a little while. Indeed. You are, in fact, also up in the Johannesburg area, so at least you guys are in the same time zone.
Dude, I'm like in Bloemfontein. That's a bit like far from Joburg.
I don't know if it's
just
not in
like
Cape Town.
it's like just down the street to the left. Like you just walk a bit and then you go like to the left, and then you're in Bloemfontein, and then you walk back the same path, and then you're in Joburg.
The geography of Cape Town, of South Africa to Cape Townians, is we have the Western Cape, and then everything else is Johannesburg. Is that not right?
All right. I hear there's a mountain in Cape Town, though, eh?
We do have one, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Occasionally. Anyway, moving on. So, Michael, yes, so like we said, thank you for joining us. You are very much someone that I've been excited to talk to, especially because of what's happening this year. The first ever rAge Expo in Cape Town.
Woohoo!
I can't wait. And it's in March. It's just around the corner.
Yeah, scarily enough, it is just around the corner.
I can imagine, you must be running around like a mad thing at the moment, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's like, I think Joburg has its own kind of madness because everything's kind of set up and sorted out, like we know how it's going to work. But Cape Town's a whole different beast, and also it's a first show, so we're not really sure what to expect and what the reaction is going to be and how big to do this and how small to do that. So I hope it's going to be all right.
I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. I know there's a lot of Cape Townians who've been waiting and hoping that rAge would come down to Cape Town.
Yeah.
The closest we get is the matric rAge, when you send us all of your very drunk students and they cause chaos down there. That's the closest we've had so far. So hopefully this will be good.
Cape Town people have a way of pitching. Like they really step up when there's something going on.
They will. Yeah, I think we'll definitely should see a very good attendance. For anyone who's listening who doesn't already know, one, shame on you. Two, 18th, 19th, 20th of March, rAge will be in Cape Town at the Grand West Casino. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Not that I'm... sorry, Michael. I'm just going to big it up, and then if things don't go well, then everyone will be like, oh, wait... Never mind. You guys have been doing this for years. I mean, you guys know what you're doing.
No, sure. Look, we know how to put a show on, but obviously, Cape Town is a very, very different environment. Obviously, the venue's a lot smaller, so you have to accommodate things there, and so it's just tricky. I'm just scared people are going to expect this massive show down there, and it's not going to be quite what they were hoping for. You know, like when you hype things up on like the new Star Wars trailer or this trailer or that trailer, in your mind you paint this picture. So I'm just hoping guys will be happy with what we're doing, and then of course knowing that it's going to just keep getting bigger and better as we go every year.
Absolutely. So, what are you guys basically flying down your whole kind of your team who's run all the Joburg ones, or are you forming a separate team down here in Cape Town to take care of this one, or How are you guys going about
it? It is Joburg-based people coming down. I don't really like to farm things out to other people to do because we know what we're doing up in Joburg. So, and I trust the team that we have in place. So that's kind of who we're going to be using.
Okay, I think probably a good idea. Plus, Cape Tonians, we are notoriously useless. They'll probably just wander off and go and smoke drugs and stare at the mountain for half an hour when they're supposed to be actually... It's just kind of the way things happen down here, unfortunately.
You need all kinds of people in the country to make it run efficiently, eh?
Yeah, very true. So Grand West, it is actually a very nice venue. I've been there a good few times to throw away my money into the endless pit that is gambling.
Yes.
Not that I have a problem. It's not a problem. Don't worry. But I also, last time I was there for an exhibition was for Top Gear. Before, luckily, Jeremy Clarkson didn't, throw a wobbly and punch anyone in the face, although that would have been quite amusing to watch. But it's a nice venue. It's not huge, but I think it's big enough for the first event, for the first rAge that Cape Town's going to have. It's going to be a really, really good kind of foundation to grow on.
No, for sure,
Who knows? Yeah. And then in a few years' time, Cape Town ICC, pack the whole thing full. It's going to be great.
Look, we did have a look at all the venues in Cape Town, and I think ICC is a bit pricey for what they offer, and they're also not very flexible on what you can do and what you can't do.
Really?
So we partnered up with the guys at Grand West, and we'll see. They also next year they're bringing a big extra expansion to their venue, and then also we'll have access to the arena there.
Oh, fantastic!
So there's a lot of potential packed into that place that we're looking at.
It's a nice central location as well. I mean, Goodwood's easy to get to from pretty much anywhere. It's right off the N2, so not really going to be any major issues there. So I think most likely a very good choice. The ICT is nice, but it's a pain. You have to go all the way into town. Can be a bit of a nightmare, and I'm sure they charge an absolute arm and a leg.
Well, there's going to be that one guy coming from Joburg for the weekend, and he's going to be stopping at every little shop he finds. He's like, "Excuse man, is where this place here?" That's going to happen. There's going to be one guy like that. So easy to find for most people.
Yes, it'll be all right. It'll work out. We'll signpost it, I'm sure.
rAge that way.
Yeah, it'll work. So Michael, anyway, look, we've covered a little bit about rAge. How did you get involved in getting everything started? I'm very interested in you as a person and what happens in someone's mind to make them go, you know what, we need to make an expo happen.
Well, obviously, clearly mad is where these things come from.
I think so, yeah. You looked at it and went, this is a massive, massive undertaking. I'm game.
No, I didn't, not at all. I had no clue what I was getting myself involved in when we first started the show. It came from, I used to go to Gamescom and Leipzig, where I went to Gamescom quite a lot. And then, of course, E3, I went to that hell of a lot of times. And I always used to think, why don't we have something like this in South Africa? And when I was much, much younger, I used to go to the computer fair. This is back when computers weren't really a big thing in terms of entertainment. It was more like accounting stuff and printing stuff and all that boring nonsense. And me and my mates used to go to NASREC for every single day of the computer fair that we could. And we used to try and scour that entire place, trying to find just a scrap of gaming. And often what we used to do is we used to bring our own Commodore Amiga demos on the little floppies. Those are small 5.25-inch discs, I think.
Oh, yeah, those are the old ones, the good ones.
Yeah, exactly. So we used to load our demos on that. We used to slip them into all the Amigas we could find, reboot them, load the demo, and then bugger off, so people would see what these things were capable of, instead of just this
I like that.
accounting garbage everywhere.
A little bit of guerrilla marketing.
It was like that, but we had a higher purpose. Let's show people what computers can do instead of what they were being used for at the time.
Yeah. No one cares about Excel.
Yeah, exactly, and it was even worse back then because it was very green and boring, and they had these amazing programs that could make things dance around, and it was just a lot of fun for us. So now you take a bit of that disappointed kid and you grow him up in gaming and go to E3 and Gamescom. So and part of the reason why we wanted to start rAge in the first place was to grow the readership of NAG magazine, because we thought the more people that were into gaming, the bigger it got, the more people would buy the mag. So that was the core thinking behind it. And yeah, I mean, that's it kind of just, went from, okay, let's do an expo. I spoke to the lady that was still doing the expo for me, Samantha, and she was responsible for making the first show happen. And like I say, we didn't know what the hell we were getting in for. And, we pushed the dates out back then, early on. It was much earlier. Then we said, okay, now we need more time. And luckily, a lot of the people that were in the magazine said, hey, okay, we'll jump on board and let's make this whole thing happen. And also, one of the cool things about doing it in South Africa is that we couldn't afford to just have an industry show. We had to have a consumer show, a LAN, and an expo all in one.
Ah, right.
So organically, it's kind of formed out of what works in this country. And that's
NAGland's still going strong.
Hell yeah, geez, that's one crazy thing. If I could fill up 10 stadiums with the NAGland, I could do it very easily up in Joburg.
Yeah. I can imagine. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting in Cape Town. I mean, Cape Town has been pretty starved of things of this size, of the same kind of scale that obviously you guys have up in Joburg. We can't expect it to be that first time round, but it'll be nice. The closest thing we had, I was at Yukon recently, which was really good. I enjoyed it, but we're talking two very, very different beasts.
No,
for
sure.
Is, a far bigger scale. So one of the things that you touched on there that I've been quite interested in. I've been just while I've been mulling over the things I wanted to talk to you about was your contacts through NAG magazine. So obviously you are the editor of NAG magazine. So obviously contacts through that must have been invaluable getting things started here. And are people still, the manufacturers, the suppliers, all those kind of things, are they still coming to the party and providing you with everything you need? Or is the rand dollar exchange rate starting to become a bit of a problem and people are like, listen, you're going to have to put some cash down? Or like, is everything good?
Yeah, look, like I say, when NAG was still up and running and happening, we had a lot of good contacts, and obviously those people don't really go away because they kind of trust the brand with the magazine. So yeah, like I'd say most of the people that are involved in the Joburg rAge are involved in some way with Cape Town. Not everybody, because a lot of people aren't 100% sure. It's a bad time of the year. The exchange rate, like you're saying, is having a big impact on gaming in this country, unfortunately negatively. So yeah, we're getting like a lot of key clients there that are up in Johannesburg, but some of them kind of want to sort of we sort of sprung it on people this Cape Town show in terms of the clients. We didn't really warm them up too much about it.
Listen, send us some stuff. We're doing this in a month.
It's almost as bad as that. I don't know why I am so stupid with these things sometimes, but hey, like sometimes things do happen at the spur of the moment, and we closed NAG down last year. And that opened up a lot of time for us and capacity to do something more. I don't really think that this is exactly what I thought we'd be doing. I thought we'd be focusing more on the websites and maybe doing another LAN in Joburg or something. But then, we said, hey, Cape Town's been crying for something like this for a very, very long time. And I keep telling people that we can't. And now let's just try it and see what happens. And this is sort of where we stumbled into where we are at the moment.
Okay. So this is the litmus test, so to speak. This is let's have a look and see how it goes with this one, and hopefully it grows. Hopefully Cape Town's not too acidic.
No, I don't think it's. I don't want to call it a test. I mean, I don't want to do one and then not do another one. I think a lot of people are looking at it saying, okay, let's see in terms of exhibitors and clients and that, and once they do see what we do and how it all works and what the response looks like, then the next year and the year after will be a lot easier to make happen.
Absolutely. I suppose, anytime you can go to someone and say, listen, we would like you to be part of this. This is what happened last year. You don't want to miss out on this.
Yeah, it's almost
Make
easy.
life a lot easier.
No, for sure, definitely, yeah.
Oh. No, well, look, we are super excited about it. And I mean, and I think probably I can say for everyone how sad everyone was to see the print NAG go off the shelves last year. I mean, it is a cornerstone of the South African gaming for people of our generation.
For years that's all we had. We had that and
NAG magazine, and you had your demo discs on the front.
we had like
I
that.
used to love those.
Cybernet, and what was the other one? PC format. I'm not sure if they're still up and running. No, there was three things back then growing up. It was like, that's all we got. Cool. Get so excited when you get it in the mail or whatever.
I still think I have somewhere the original Descent demo disc.
Dude, I still have like the Legacy of Kain demo somewhere on a disc that I got with NAG.
You gotta keep those things. They're kind of special. You know, they might actually they'll be collector's items eventually.
Speaking of collector's items, I'm actually looking at this picture from rAge in 2003. the gaming rigs are ancient.
Yes,
Like-
yes.
Jeez, there were like a
What's that,
ton of
13
people,
years
but
ago.
the hardware was like top of the line with like everyone's got these huge CRT monitors. It's like taking so much space. It's amazing how things changed.
Yeah, the CRTs versus the LCDs is definitely where you can see the biggest change in terms of land. And also, like, there's a lot of beige back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now things are a little bit more. You got some neon going on. We got some nice lights and some water cooling these days. So
Yeah.
it's a bit better.
That's
The one thing I wanted to say is it's amazing how much, as you said, the move from CRT to LCD suddenly made traveling to a LAN far more
yeah,
feasible.
it's much easier.
I got a friend in the States called Jimmy the Snake, who, despite sounding like some kind of weird
Sounds like
gangster
cowboy,
kind of
like
mafiosa,
cowboy guy.
or a little bit like Del Boy, he's actually a very nice
Hey, but
guy.
I'm Jimmy the
he's-
Snake.
Jimmy the Snake. He's
I'll bust
he's
a cap in your ass.
from New York, and he's one of the top 10 Steam game collectors in the world.
Oh,
So he is in the top 10 of people who own Steam games. Like, he owns almost everything. I don't know what he does. Maybe he is a mafioso because he's clearly got a lot of money to spend on games. But one of the things he also likes to do is build custom portable PCs. And he's building like into suitcases with LCD monitors, but running Titan graphics cards in them. Like the most incredible stuff. I think he was doing one with a violin case a little while ago. The more I'm speaking, the more I'm starting to feel like he may actually be a gangster. The violin case is starting to make sense.
Yeah,
But
there's a few clues on the ground there you need to look at. Eh?
I know, Jimmy. I'm sorry for mentioning you on air, and I hope it doesn't cause any problems for you and the familia.
yeah. Just
he's
by the way,
gonna
I have
come and put
nothing
a dead
to do with
horse
this.
in my bed.
I don't know him. I don't know anything. Leave me alone.
But the
point
that I was eventually going to come around to was the fact that it is so much easier these days. We have it so good right now, and I imagine things are just going to get better with the things like Raspberry Pis. When you think about Raspberry Pi, okay, it's not a particularly powerful little unit, but 5 years ago it was almost unthinkable.
Yeah, it was.
That you would have the power that they currently have. And I mean, it's only going to go from there. Eventually we're going to get to the point where we have these pocket PCs that can do all this stuff up.
I mean, people are running around with Alienware laptops. It's like, where's your gaming rig? Oh no, it's here in my pocket. There you go, Alienware.
Yeah, no, that certainly has gotten a lot easier. I just want to know, do you have any idea how many games you have to put you in a top 10 of Steam?
Ooh, that is a very good question. Hold on, I have Steam open right here. Give me 2 seconds.
2,000, I can imagine.
1,000?
No, a few thousand.
Okay, I was about to say 1,000, dude. It's like I'm getting close myself.
No, I think most people have like 1,000 games on Steam anyway.
Yeah, like
sales are crazy.
899 you never play, yeah.
Yeah, 4,004.
Wow.
4,004.
4,004.
Well, that's a hefty amount. So I wasn't too far off with a few thousand.
That is scary. Wow.
You'll never play any,
absolutely.
like most of them. Like, I don't think.
No, well, the thing is, he plays arcades nowadays. He's he's become fairly famous in that world. Now in the world of arcades, I haven't played it myself, but I'm not a huge fan of MMOs. I lose interest in them too quickly. But there was recently someone attacked one of his clan mates or guild mates or whatever they are, and he went back and attacked them, and then they actually ended up posting on the arcade forum saying, "Okay, the 3 top clans to never mess with: this one, and Jimmy the Snake." It was just when people are like, just don't mess with him, just leave him alone. No, he's one of the sweetest guys on the planet. But if you mess with him on a game, he will break you. So it's scary. But yeah, so anyway, sorry. But the main thing was, the portability, all that kind of thing. I'm hoping that we're going to see a really good turnout at the NAG LAN this year. Happening 18th to 20th, like I said earlier, of March at Grand West. I'm assuming it's all going to be in the same area.
Yes. There's an expo area which is past the Magic Company, and then there's a sort of a conference room that we put the LAN in, and also HW Bot's going to be in there as well. They're coming to do on their part of their world tour is going to be there, and they're going to overclock computers there and show people how to do that and that type of thing.
Oh.
That's useful.
That's very useful. Yeah, I think I know a lot of people who have never done it because they're worried And rightly so. I mean,
when you break it, you know.
If you don't know what you're doing and you break your processor, that's quite an expensive mistake to have made.
And wisely so. Listen, we had to get special permission one of the years in Johannesburg to get liquid nitrogen on the show floor.
Liquid cooling.
And Naya, the guy that works for us that does the liquid cooling. I mean, he used to like seal up his processor, and they're just crazy. So you need a fair amount of expertise before you start tooling around with that stuff.
Absolutely. I used to spend a bit of time on, that old site, overclockers.com, just looking at these things and just going, one day. I mean, I've upgraded from a stock fan to like a bit more of an impressive fan these days, but I haven't gone that route yet.
For sure. You can also there was even software overclocking, and when I did that, I clicked on it, I went like, I eyeballed my computer, thought, okay, is this safe or not? So, and that's about as scary as I got into it.
Yeah, I've got the same thing with one of the Republic of Gamers motherboards, which supports software overclocking, and you kind of you click it, and then you let it run for a bit, and you're like, it's running a little bit warmer than it usually does. I'm going to switch it off. I don't like it.
Yeah, or the fan speeds up, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, but it'll be good. So that'll be very interesting for people to be able to come and have a look and see exactly what does go into it, especially in South Africa. In summer, I'm being a Roy neck. I'm not going to use the other term that you guys always call me by.
Soti.
Soti's okay. So we can use Soti. Over here, it's summer. It's crazy. I was sat and I was busy playing some games, and it was, I don't know what temperature it was. I mean, I'm sat in a pair of shorts playing games, and then I'm like, wait a minute, it's stupidly hot. Like, I'm literally sweating. And I put my hand down, and the air being pumped out of my PC was hot. And I was like, this is not good. I mean, that in a country like this, overclocking and it's very dangerous if you don't use the right type of cooling. So
have you heard what a PS4 sounds like in the mid of summer in South Africa? It sounds like a fucking vacuum cleaner, dude. It's like, really, it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It's like you could put on a vacuum cleaner and the PS4 will actually drown out the sound of the vacuum cleaner.
That's pretty impressive. I'm a bit scared.
I think you need to get your PS4 looked at, buddy.
I think so. Yeah, get some of that compressed air spray or something. And
maybe
get some
I
dust
should
out
move
or
it,
something.
Just like with it or something.
Off your carpet and out of your oven. Okay.
There we go. Yeah, sensible approach. I don't know why you'd put it there in the first place. So we're going to have the NAG LAN, we're going to have the Expo itself, we're going to have the demonstrations of overclocking, water cooling, etc. Is there anything else that you're allowed to tell us that we can look forward to in the Expo?
Well, we've got Telkom taking up a lot of space there as well with the DGL Masters tournament, which is very exciting. I don't know if you guys caught that announcement. They're giving R1 million away.
I heard about that,
Yeah, so that's going to be a look at the company taking esports quite seriously on the show floor there, and you can obviously meet the guys and talk to them and watch a few matches and that. I mean, that's very, very exciting because I don't know if you guys have seen. Obviously, you must have those those tournaments they have overseas with those many millions of dollars of prize money, and I think that's going to be nice to see a little bit of a taste of that starting in this country, which is pretty exciting.
No, it'll be very good for our esports for it to have the right kind of backing and the right kind of money behind it. I mean, it's all well and good to play games for the prestige and to maybe have a sponsored PC, but if you're not paying for your milk and your bread, then it's never gonna progress. I mean, we've got esports around the world has become a huge market. I mean, we've got the COD Masters with multiple millions of dollars in the as the grand prize, and I would love to see South Africa. Look, it's the same as how I used to feel watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire over here. Like, I'd feel slightly bad because it's like, it's like you won R1 million. It's like, hang on, some guy just won £1 million. This does not seem fair. It's like, you guys forget the exchange rate. But I think it's phenomenal that we get R1 million for a gaming team down here.
Yeah.
I think it's going to open doors. It's going to provide them with the money that they're going to need to get overseas and compete on a proper level, at the same level that the American market is. Because let's be honest, they're the ones we have to beat.
Yeah, definitely. Sure. I mean, people only now are like realizing the lucrative benefits of investing in esports. I don't think it was visible before because they didn't think it's just a few kids playing in a basement somewhere. Well, there's no real money in it. I think it's really starting to open people's eyes to what the potential of what it could be. You know.
Yeah,
No, it'd be great.
who knows what the future is going to look like there? I mean, the guys are talking to TV channels and everything. So it's very exciting. I just hope it makes that jump and doesn't just only stay on the Twitch streams and so on, because that's all fine and well. But it's hard to convince mom and dad to get involved in that level. But if little Johnny's playing on DSTV and he's that's
all of a sudden mom and dad
argument.
are pretty proud. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like I would think I would find it very difficult. Look, okay, my son's quite lucky in a way. In a lot of ways he's unlucky having me as a father, but in some ways he's quite lucky. So if he ever comes to me and goes, Dad, I just hit like 10,000 Twitch followers, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, that's amazing, that's so cool, I'm so proud of you. But if he went, if I didn't know anything about gaming,
exactly,
and he came on up to a normal, a father, and he was like, Dad, I just got this many followers on Twitch, you'd be like, what? Shut up, go put your rugby boots on, we're going to go kick a ball around, you got to be in the Springboks.
Yeah, it's interesting, sort of this balance between the two different eras and ages and that. But I think everyone's going to be grappling with that all the time. Like, what is going to work in the future? Is social media going to be the thing? Will people go back to TV? How will it's hard to say how it's going to work because it keeps changing so quickly. People are like pressed to keep up with it these days.
Yeah. Well, South Korea. I mean, I know that South Korea have Counter-Strike TV channels.
Yeah, sure.
And I would love to see something similar to that here. I mean, it would be the entire reason I started.
If that's going to work for us, eh? Well, like, I don't know if it's going to happen or have viewers.
I would love. Well, no, I think it would. I honestly think it would. I mean, if you look at YouTube and you look at some of the South African YouTubers that are growing, Grant Hines we had on recently. He's doing very well for himself now. He's focusing on it on his YouTube.
That is true.
There is growth there. I mean, the whole reason I started even making videos on YouTube way back in the day was because two friends of mine used to come around and we'd have a couple of beers and then we'd play a bit of PlayStation and then they'd be like, no, listen, you play, we'll just sit and watch you. And I'm like, well, that's no fun. Like, you're going to be bored. They're like, no, it's genuinely fine. We are terrible at games. I mean, this is one guy who got lost in Gears of War 2. Gears of War 1, and I had to run back and find him, and he was stood in a corner spinning around, and I was just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, just stop. He's the only person I've ever met who I heard a video game insult. The old game Chrome Hounds. I don't know if you ever played it when the Xbox 360 first came out. There was a game called Chrome Hounds, which was kind of a mech warrior-esque type of thing.
I know it. Never played it, but I do know about it. Yeah,
it wasn't too bad. But you go through a training mission at the beginning, and at the end of it, the instructor says, "Hey, well done. You can't wait for you to get out there. You'll be commanding a unit in no time. Unless you're my friend Terrence, in which case at the end of it, the instructor goes, you are the worst recruit I've ever seen. You're going to get your whole squad killed. So,
that's awesome.
So I think there would be people who can't do and would be quite happy to just watch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like an online streaming service would work a bit better than actually broadcasting it on like television, for instance. Maybe a service like Showmax even steps up and streams an event. Like when we actually have a competition, like a large scale competition, maybe an online streamer can like step up and then live stream it for everyone.
Yeah.
I think then there's no reason why it wouldn't be able to go to both. Now I know for a fact because I've been having some conversation with the people responsible. There's a Chinese company that have created some software that essentially it re-encodes video streams on the fly and can then send them out to whatever to a digital streaming site or to terrestrial TV or to whatever.
Is there something like that? That would be awesome.
No, there is. I mean, then you could potentially have it. I mean, it would be nice you could have it with the DGL Masters happening at rAge. I mean, imagine how lovely that would be to have.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Especially now with all this advances we're making in the internet. I mean, the fiber projects are going well in the cities, and I hear Bloom is even getting free Wi-Fi soon, and it's becoming a more normal thing having access to the net. So I think the future holds good things for us.
Yeah. So Michael, sorry. So from the rAge side of things, so with DGL Masters happening, is there any plans around that? Are we going to have anything? Are we going to have some people like shoutcasting it, or are we just going to be watching? Is it really local?
On the floor. Look, I would lie if I told you if I knew exactly what was happening. I know they got booths there, and they do shoutcasting and that sort of a thing. So there are teams competing live on the show floor. How it's getting broadcast out, you guys can check out their website and just find out what the details are there. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, well, I'll have to double check with them and just see, because that would be cool. I mean, I'd love to be able to watch that.
But they're pretty smart guys. They're doing all this type of thing. So if you've thought about it, they've thought about it. There'll be some way to get it out there and for people to access it as well.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, look, like I said, I mean, I'd love to see it. I am going to see it because there's no way I'm not going to be at Rage this year. I had a chat with my son this evening when I put him to bed. And I said, look, I said, you need to go to sleep now because I've got to go do this podcast. And and like, just go to sleep. Daddy's got to go and kind of work. I've got to go talk to people. And I was telling him what it was about and about Rage, and he was so excited to want it to come through. So, I mean, from that side of things, how are we looking with the kid friendliness? Are we good there? Are we not? Are we? I think on your site that under 6 goes free, so that's pretty friendly.
Yeah, look, we always try and make the show family friendly. I think it is pretty tough these days when you've got games like Call of Duty which are on display. I guess parents are just going to have to be responsible with that sort of thing, and obviously understand that there are some things that are age restricted. But we do invite the FPB to the show as well, and they make sure that that there are like sort of ratings on the games, that people understand that this is the thing 100%. That they've got to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. So yeah, if basically if your kid has wandered off and is watching Grand Theft Auto 5, then maybe you need to grab hold of him and say, you know what, let's go and have a look at something else.
Yeah, but what?
Come on, they anyway play GTA 5. Come on.
What is nice that happens at the show, we see this in Johannesburg as well, is that the game companies that put the games out there, they have people that watch who's watching, if you know what I mean. Really? So you won't get a little 5-year-old kid playing Call of Duty at the show, because the people that display the game understand that that's not cool, and so it's not regulated, but it is kept within the confines of like the Film Publications Board, who are involved, and they make sure these things are kept to the right audience and so on, which is good.
Well, that's pretty cool. Then parents don't have to be all like paranoid that their child's gonna like see something really scary and then keep them up for like the next weekend. Like, Daddy, I saw something at Rage. I'm scared.
No, precisely, yeah. And I've always said 100% of the time, it's always up to the parents to make sure they know what their kids are doing. Get involved with your children. Make sure you know what they're looking at on YouTube, what games they're playing, what movies they're seeing. Don't just leave it up to the system to take care of your kids. That's just like, it's ridiculous.
That's bad parenting.
No, those parents are out there.
Yeah, and I think sometimes those type of parents, they look at the next scapegoat to blame, and that's not the right way to do it. Like, be responsible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I will be there. I will be bringing my son. We've already had a conversation about. In fact, we were talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 earlier on, because he was saying about. I was going to visit a friend of mine earlier on in the week, and he wanted to go. And I was like, look, you can't. He's like, but doesn't he have an Xbox? I'm like, yes. And he's like, does he have games? I'm like, well, he really likes Grand Theft Auto 5. And my son was like, but that's fine, Dad. I'm like, no, it's not. You're not going to go to Uncle Michael's house to play Grand Theft Auto 5. Sit down. So you just got to keep an eye on them. So I mean, as long as parents are there, and like I said, I think correct me if I'm wrong, it is under 6 free entry.
Yes, that is. I think that is how it works. Yes.
Yeah, off the top of my head, that's what I remember. Which my son just misses out by a slim 2 years.
Slim 2 years.
It's slim, very slim. Nearly got there.
You're still going to try and pass him off for 6, though, aren't you?
No, it's impossible.
Now that I mentioned it, it's impossible.
He's of Afrikaans stock.
Oh.
My son's mom is van Pretoria off, and her two uncles are 6'4" and 6'5" respectively. He's 8 years old. He is getting close to my shoulder, and I'm 6 foot.
All right.
I'm worried. When he hits 16, it's going to be, listen, go to bed. No, Dad, you go to bed. Okay, sorry. So, no, I'll be there with my son. I think it's going to be a fantastic day out. If you've got a kid that is interested in gaming, wants to see how things go, bring them along, let them see. From everything I've heard, the Joburg ones have been extremely friendly. Nothing untoward. Nothing. I mean, computers are a very weird space for a lot of parents. We were saying about the generation divide earlier on, Michael. For a lot of parents, it's still quite a scary thing. It does have that stigma to it of like it's a bunch of weird people who live in a basement and are gonna show your kid horrific things if they go anywhere near him. It's not like that. We're really quite nice people.
I mean, the generation gap is quite huge, though, if you think about it. I mean, look when rAge started, and that was like, I see the first pictures are like 2003, and it's like 2016 now. That means the people who are like there at the first one, they already have like grown-ass kids and stuff, and they're gonna like want to take their kids to this for the first time, probably sometime, or maybe for many it's gonna be the first time or even second time they're going there. And I think that's quite amazing that rAge has become a generational sort of event, you know.
Yeah, I also think that whole generational thing has sort of stopped. If you look at my parents, they're not computer literate or even really cell phone literate. But for me now, I've been doing this my whole life, and I sit with my son and we play games like Terraria and Minecraft together. And also we take each other on in Call of Duty. When he's better than me at that game, for example. But you see,
that's gonna sting.
For me, I'll be moving along with him with computers and technology. So there's nothing he does that I don't understand or can't get involved in. So I think that the only sort of area where I'm like, raise my eyebrow every now and again is social media, because I don't really understand why people are so obsessed with these things sometimes. Why do you care so much about what 500 random people on your friends list are doing all the time? But I guess that's will show. I guess that's where the age gap will come in at some point down the line. Why I won't understand that social aspect of it. But in terms of the tech and the access to technology, if I've been doing this for as long as I have, there's nothing I can see in the future that I'm going to be afraid of or not understand. Like VR is coming in now. I'm as interested in that as anybody else is, type of thing. So I think that the generation, there's not really going to be a gap anymore. It's kind of like a stretched out bit of toffee almost between the generations, and not this this harsh cut,
Yeah, we'll have some things that, yes, I agree with you 100%. We'll have some things that will fall away for us, like the social media. I deleted my Facebook account. Best decision I ever made. I did that about 3 years ago.
I know a lot of people who did that.
So happy that I did. I still use Twitter, but like Instagram, I don't care about Instagram. It's like, oh look, I took a picture of a food. Well done, and everyone and their dog apparently is now a professional photographer because they've got an Instagram and they know how to apply a vignette effect on their picture.
A filter.
So those things that our kids will grow up complete just being the norm, they're starting to fall away from us. But I agree with you that it is no longer just the slice, complete disconnect. We do have that. I mean, exactly the same as you. I'm playing Minecraft with my son quite regularly. We're playing Battle Block Theatre the other day. So we regularly will play games together and have great fun. It's fantastic. For any parents out there who have kids who are into gaming, first of all, I'm amazed that you've listened this long, because we're a bunch of weird gamers just rambling on about stuff. But if you're not sure yourself, you should take your kid to one of these events, see what it is that's got your kids so excited, what it is that's fueled their passion. It's one of the things that as a parent, I think I'm most proud, or I feel proud that I've managed to accept my son as he is. Okay, it helps that he likes the same things I do, but if I just didn't get what he was doing at all, if I had no clue, if he came up to me and was like, oh Dad, look at this, and I was just blank, that would be heartbreaking, I would imagine, for a kid. So
I mean, you support him so much, you go to the Pokemon Expos without him.
Exactly, absolutely. I've got to. I've got a piece of paper next to me with a list of the trades that he wants me to make. So it's like, I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, if you go to a cricket match, I'll go to Pokemon.
You do realize, of course, that we are responsible for these monsters that we've created, eh? Because I would have been very upset if my son didn't enjoy the new Star Wars that came out, but he was right there along with me. But of course, because I'm playing games and I'm watching these things and I'm into science fiction fiction and computer games, of course they are going to be attracted to that kind of thing as well. So that's why, I think we're kind of shaping this generation in a way, and then it'll take off on its own. And we're very lucky. Like, I think people like age 30 to 40 to 50 have grown up in this time where we've had access to all this stuff and we understand it, and we've grown up with it. And so that's kind of how I think that whole thing has panned out. And it's always nice to look back and see where we've come from, but also to embrace what's happening now, in the future.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool.
Fantastic. Well, we have been going for about an hour, so I think it probably is a good time to cut it off.
Ooh,
We do have a couple of announcements that we need to make.
Pikey, you know what though, dude? You know what I saw just now on the list of people who are going to be there at rAge? Our friends at T-shirt Terrorists are going to be there.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah, you should go say hi.
News.
You should
Okay,
go say
no, I
hi.
definitely will. Well, yeah, I'll definitely be there. As far as I'm aware, Paul will be joining me. Bipolar Bear and Harlequin will both be there along with me as well. So,
Is she going to be leaving? Is she going to be leaving the bathroom for this one? Or
She is, yeah. Michael, yeah, we have a member whose microphone sounds, no matter where she goes, it sounds like she's in a bathroom. It's the echoiest thing you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always interesting.
yeah, although
so
the
that's
audio
fine.
editing also doesn't work. It's just like, what are you trying to do? It still sounds the same.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah, you can't take away the echo completely.
Yeah,
So the
impossible.
last couple of things, sorry, just from my side, just to get the housekeeping taken care of, we do have big fanfare, etc. 5 double day passes to the rAge Expo in Cape Town to give away on the site. This is just the announcement. I'm not going to tell you quite how to do it yet, but there will be an article attached to this podcast detailing exactly how you can go about winning it. So it's a double ticket, so it's for 2 people, but 5 single days. So it's... Let me explain this properly. It's 5 tickets, each one for 2 people for 1 day. That makes sense. I hope.
I think
So yes,
Maybe just
absolutely.
detail
I
it in
think
the
so.
article, like one equals
I'll write
one.
it up. I'll put in
right.
some very, very interesting algorithms and all kinds of. It'll totally make sense as long as you understand string theory. Don't worry. So yeah,
All right,
those will be
most of
going.
it
Those
is
will be
good.
given away. Obviously before the rAge event, it would be quite rude of us to give them away afterwards.
Yeah, like
and
we're gonna
it
hold
will
the
be
competition the
fantastic.
21st. 21st of March.
It would be
We're gonna mail you the
fantastic
tickets. You'll get to like in November.
It'll be fantastic to see some little Cape Town geek nodians there, and if you are one of the lucky ones who wins one, please do come and say hi. I'll be the guy without much hair left, wandering around looking like a schoolboy in a candy store. I can imagine that's probably going to be quite a few people looking.
Yeah, that's
like
pretty much
that.
everyone there though.
Yeah, damn it. Okay, never mind. You'll find me. I'll wear my Geek Node t-shirt. There we go.
Wear the hat wearing your avatar thingy.
I can wear my
Hey, wear the unicorn hat.
Unicorn
The
latex
unicorn
head.
thing.
Yeah,
There
I'll
we
just terrify all the children with that.
Yeah.
Morris, last thing from you. You wanted to discuss something?
Oh yes, I was holding my own little horror festival this week, and I figured, well, it would be a pretty good idea to hold a little competition on the site. And I'm actually come tomorrow gonna give away 3 bundle packs of horror movies. I'll have the article up tomorrow with details on how to enter, and it'll be on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. So just check the site, and you might be one of the 3 winners. It's also one of the a series of competitions I'm going to be holding over the next few months or weeks or days, whatever. And we're going to be looking at giving a bit more interaction going with the crowd and stuff. So we'll be giving away a few goodies over the last few weeks now, and yeah.
Fantastic. However, my giveaway is better than Werner's, but never mind.
Screw you.
So, Michael, is there anything else that you'd like to speak about before we sign off?
No, yeah, I'm really a big fan of doing self-promotional stuff and everything. Just if you enjoy the idea of geeks and games and technology and everything, come along to the show. I just think don't get too hyped up about it, and try and keep yourself like reasonably excited. And that's about it.
I might explode a little bit, like as I walk in the door. It doesn't matter. The first stand I see, I might just suffer a small meltdown.
Yeah, you might
So,
just
yeah.
lose it completely.
I might, but it'll be great. So yeah, Michael, thank you so much for joining us. It's been fantastic to talk to you. Really nice to get to know a little bit more about what goes on in the background as well. To the way these things will kind of come together, and a little bit about the people that are driving these awesome events that are happening in our country. I really hope that Cape Town's going to be a massive success. I'm sure it is.
It will be, definitely.
I will be there. I'm assuming you'll be there as well.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, no, of course, definitely.
Absolutely. I was going to say, I'm sure it's a pretty safe assumption. Hopefully I'll catch up with you there and be able to come and say hi, and yeah, it'll be a hell of an experience.
Yeah, no, it should be a lot of fun. It's always nice to put faces to names and then meet everyone. And I think it's cool if everybody gets together, even if the whole community of gaming gets together. It's like it becomes like one of those things that people talk about. And you were there, and it also helps grow the community a little bit by bringing people together. It's not good if you're all segmented, sitting on your computers behind the internet all the time. It's nice to get out and meet people and do a bit of the actual real life stuff.
Yes. Agreed. That sunlight stuff that I've heard so much about. We got to come up. We must rise from our basements.
It is good for you, no matter what people tell you.
There we go. You got to get that. What is it? Vitamin D from the
Vitamin
sun?
D.
I don't know.
That's it.
Vitamin E. D. It is D.
D.
It's definitely D. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
Oh, you want the
vitamin
D? Okay.
You need it. No, we need just the vitamin.
The vitamin.
We're going to end it off there. So thanks once again for joining us, Michael. Mr. Morris, partial thanks for coming and joining us again.
Partial thanks.
Yeah, just partial. You don't get the full thanks, buddy. And to our listeners, thanks a lot for listening, and keep an eye out on the website for those competitions. It's going to be fantastic, and if you can get yourself some free tickets to join us, it'll be great to meet you there. Until then, take care.